What's up, guys? Kool-Aid here, and today we're going to talk about Nano-Armor Cloaking. Now, before we really get started on numbers and stuff, I just want you to take a look at the description in the Certifications tab. It says, while the cloak is active, the Infiltrator takes less damage, but drains nanites faster. Pretty straightforward, even though they don't really tell you any percentages or anything like that, and we will go over that in a little bit. But it just says it takes less damage. Now, if you actually go to the tab after you purchase this, and you go to equip it, excuse me, it actually has quite a bit different description. While the cloak is active, the Infiltrator will take less damage from small arms. That is a very important detail that Sony just left out of the original description. So what that means, and I tested this on a variety of different weapons and vehicles, is that Nano-Armor Cloaking, while active, is only going to help protect you against small infantry arms fire. Nothing else. No vehicles, no explosives. So hopefully, if you already purchased this, you weren't expecting that. And if you do want to purchase this in the future, or maybe after this video, just be aware of that fact. It's a very important detail that Sony should have included in the description on the certifications tab. So now that we know that, let's talk some actual numbers. Through testing, we found out that the damage reduction provided by the original rank of Nano-Armor Cloaking is 25%. Now, if you buy the final tier, it's going to bump that up to 35%. So let's take a look at a 143 damage weapon, which is kind of the middle of the road and a very commonly used weapon type. 143 damage weapon will kill an Infiltrator in 7 shots within its maximum damage range. Now, if you have the original 1 through 4 ranks of Nano-Armor Cloaking, the 25% reduction, it's going to bump that up to 9 shots if that's activated for the entire duration. It's going to drop that 143 damage shot down to 107.25 damage. Now, to go one step further, if you have the maximum rank of Nano-Armor Cloaking, it's going to actually add an additional shot on there, making it 10 shots to kill you, and it's going to bump that 143 damage shot down to 92.95. Now, that was talking about guns in their maximum damage range. If you were to back that 143 damage weapon up to its minimum damage range, which for TR and NC is 112, it's actually going to take an additional 4 shots to kill with Nano-Armor Cloaking rank 5. So that all sounds good, but there's definitely some negatives that come with the Nano-Armor Cloaking. The first one is right in the description, and it says it drains nanites faster. That is in direct comparison to the Hunter Cloak. The Hunter Cloak is going to last about 12 seconds. The Nano-Armor Cloak is only going to last about 3.5 seconds. So there's definitely a huge disparity there. Now, with your next 3 tiers of the Nano-Armor Cloak, you can gain an additional second, bringing it up to about 6.5, 7 seconds when maxed out. Still about 5.5 seconds less than the Hunter Cloak. So quite a bit of a difference there. Now, the other big negative that they do not tell you again in the description is that the Nano-Armor Cloak also recharges at half the rate of the Hunter Cloak. So it takes 24 seconds to fully recharge from empty back to full. The Hunter Cloak maxed out only takes about 9 seconds, and you cannot change this with the Nano-Armor Cloak. You are always going to be stuck with that real long recharge time. So now that we have all the stats out there, you're probably wondering if I would actually recommend this. Well, I'll tell you what, before submachine guns came out, I would say absolutely not. Our weapons prior to submachine guns would not really allow us to play this playstyle as well. Now, we did it, but it relied more on sneaking and getting the opening shot. With submachine guns, you can actually rely more on your weapon. You can play more of a run and gun playstyle, and Nano-Armor Cloaking really fits in with that playstyle. Now, even saying that, as much as I am loving Nano-Armor Cloaking right now, I think in probably 75% of Infiltrator situations, you're probably going to want to be using the Hunter Cloak. If you're sniping, I think the Hunter Cloak is going to be better. If you're going in, hacking turrets, hacking terminals, just trying to cause overall chaos, not necessarily trying to get any kills, Hunter Cloak is probably going to be better. Now, if you're like me and you feel comfortable moving through bases through buildings without relying on your cloak that much, then that's when nano armor might really start to shine. Personally, I have kind of trained myself, and I said this in one of my first Infiltrator videos, you should act as if you're not wearing a cloak at all. And this is referring to when I was talking about Hunter Cloak. I said, act as if you're not wearing a cloak at all. That way, you don't have to rely on the cloak. The cloak is not 100% effective. That way, you'll just be sure of things. So if you've been playing to that sort of infiltration playstyle, then transitioning to the Nano Armor Cloak might not really be that hard for you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you just have to, think about your play style. Think about if it will work for you. It definitely should not replace the Hunter Cloak, but there are situations where it can possibly be better. Now, I do have a shots to kill chart that was made by Plagrat, who's a guy on the official Planetside 2 forums who I have been chatting with for a couple weeks now about nano armor cloaking, and he was kind enough to make this chart. It's going to show shots to kill for Nano Armor Cloaking 1, Nano Armor Cloaking 2, as well as some Nano Weave scenarios. So check this out. If you see him posting on the Planetside 2 forums in the Infiltrator section, give him a thumbs up, give him a thanks, because he does a lot of good, informative posting in there. But anyways, guys, that's all I have. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I will talk to you all later.